As a 10-year-old, every arena was jam-packed, and there'd be 2,000 people at a game, and I was a normal kid. I didn't even think anything of it.
But people were aware of you. I mean, you were doing interviews at 8.
But it was a bigger world in those days. You know, it's like today where, you know, I like to get up in the morning and have a coffee and read the newspaper. My kids, you know, are on the internet. They know everything that's going on, and the world's smaller. In those days, it was all hearsay. I hear this kid 3 hours away is pretty good, or I hear this guy in the next province is a pretty good player. So you had to sort of build your reputation, and I just was a kid that played.
And yet there seems to be this outside pressure on you building because of the reputation, because of the, hey, you got to come see this kid play. And people are talking about Wayne Gretzky. Did you feel pressure to be great even then?
No, I didn't feel the pressure. But I was 10 years old, and we were invited to play in this hockey game. And the season had ended, and I'm a big believer to this day that when hockey season ends, you should put your equipment away, and you should play soccer or track and field or lacrosse or baseball. And so I was so excited when the season ended to put my equipment away because I loved baseball so much. A week after the season had ended, and that was the year I scored 400 goals. A team from just outside of our hometown had called and said, we want to play this exhibition game. And so the coach came to the house, and he said, we can't play this game if Wayne doesn't want to play. And my dad said, do you want to play? And I said, well, of course I'll play. So we go down to this game. It was very funny. And the arena is this small arena. It was like a practice arena, but they jammed like 1,500 people in there. And I was a kid. I was 10 years old, right? We got beat 8-1, and I didn't play very good.
Who had the 1?
I don't think I did.
Okay.
Yeah. Got in the car, threw my equipment in. I'll never forget as long as I live. And my dad said, how you doing? I said, great. And I was kind of like a normal 10-year-old kid. Like, I was, all right. He goes, well, that just ruined the whole year. And I went, ruined the whole year? I got 400 goals. And he said, you know what, for whatever reason the good Lord chose you, you have to play good every single game. People are coming to watch you.
I think the average person, though, either seated in this audience or me or watching on television at home thinks, well, was that the dad putting undue pressure on the 10-year-old kid? I know you don't feel that way, but maybe talk us through that a little bit.
He never put undue pressure on me if he didn't think I could succeed. If he thought I didn't prepare, and then I did fail, he would be disappointed in me. He never got mad at me. But his big thing, my dad's biggest thing in life is he used to always say to me, failing to prepare is preparing to fail. And he told me that when I was 9 years old, and I remember thinking, wow, it's so true. And all he wanted you to do is, if I put my effort into it, and that's why he was disappointed in the game we lost 8-1. He thought I didn't care, which honestly I didn't, because I was a last-minute sort of add-on. And, you know, it was a lesson that I didn't know at the time. It was a lesson I learned that I treated and I put my effort into every single game like it was Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Now, I didn't play all good games. I had some bad games, trust me. But I prepared and played like that was the biggest game I was ever going to play in. And it was a lesson I learned at 10 years old. So the pressure never bothered me. My dad used to say, you know what, that's part of life. Pressure is part of life. You got to learn how to accept it and deal with it from a young age, because it's going to be there for forever.